Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Go ahead and get comfortable, but I also want you to get highly focused right now because we are about to decode the very water you swim in every single day. We're kicking off a 6-part series, The Introduction to the Language of Video. And for episode 1 today, we're starting with the most fundamental question possible. What actually is video?
Seriously, I want you to take a second and just pause. Really think about the actual nature of the content you're scrolling through incessantly. I mean, from the exact moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, you're staring at moving pixels. You're watching me do it right now. But if I asked you to define what this medium actually is, how it works under the hood, and what it's doing to your brain, could you tell me? Just think about the sheer, massive scale of the shift we've undergone here. It's wild. You consume more video in a single week than your grandparents probably watched in an entire year. For them, moving images were a huge event, a planned trip to the cinema or maybe a scheduled hour gathered around a really clunky television set. But for you, it is the absolute default state of reality. It's on the bus, it's in the cafeteria, it's in your bed, it is constant. To put that into perspective, 50 years ago, an educator named Cândido Fernandes wrote a book to teach young people how to read cinema. And back then, that was a revolutionary idea, this concept that film had a grammar, a real syntax. Well, we're going to update that rulebook today. Why? Because the core language is actually exactly the same, but the game-changing difference is that now you are the ones natively speaking it.
Okay, let's jump straight into section 1. What is video? Deconstructing the screen.
Have you ever tried explaining a really funny clip to a friend using just words? It usually falls completely flat, right? You inevitably just give up and go, never mind, I'll just send it to you. That is because video literally cannot just be told, it has to be seen. Every definition of video kind of only tells a part of the truth. First up, it acts as a window onto the world. Think about it. You might not have ever boarded a 14-hour flight to Tokyo, and you probably haven't trekked across the freezing expanse of Antarctica. Yet you know exactly what the neon-lit streets of Japan look like at midnight. You've seen the monumental glaciers of the South Pole. Video lets you travel the entire globe, completely expanding your horizon without ever leaving your bedroom.
Second, it's a dream factory. For a few minutes, or sometimes a few hours, video lets you live an entirely different life. You literally get to step into the shoes of a pro gamer clutching a final round, or an astronaut floating around in zero gravity, or a master chef plating up some Michelin star dish. The idols of the screen, which, by the way, used to just be unreachable Hollywood actors, but are now your favorite YouTubers and Twitch streamers, they basically lend us their fascinating lives for a little while.
Now, what's super interesting is how video builds on the past. Historically, cinema was known as the seventh art because it was like the ultimate combination medium. It took painting, sculpture, music, literature, architecture, and dance, and just mashed them all together into one thing. But modern video, it takes all of that and hits fast forward. It adds interactive design, the aesthetics of video games, and live, real-time conversation directly with the audience. It's a total evolutionary leap.
But what is its absolute, unique trait? What distinguishes video from absolutely everything else out there? It is images in motion. A stunning, super high-resolution photograph is a beautiful piece of art for sure, but it is not video. A dynamic, endlessly scrolling 10-second reel? That is. Motion is the literal heartbeat of this medium.
Let's move on to section 2, a universal language, the power you hold in your pocket.
So you might think you're just passively soaking up entertainment, but what you're actually doing is engaging with a highly structured language. Think about what any language, whether it's English, Spanish, Mandarin, is fundamentally used for. It basically does 3 things. Number 1, knowing the world by naming things. Number 2, communicating by transmitting ideas to other people. And number 3, expressing, bringing out the emotions we carry inside. Video fulfills these perfectly. When you watch a step-by-step tutorial to fix your bike, that's knowing. When you watch a news piece, that's communicating. And when you sit through a highly personal vlog, that is pure expression.
But here is where video has a superpower that spoken words just don't have. It is a truly universal language. The person speaking this visual language could live in South Korea or Brazil or right down the street in your neighborhood. Images are understood by the human brain almost instantly, completely regardless of your mother tongue. And the spoken words, well, they just get auto-subtitled by the app anyway. This is exactly why a powerful visual story can circle the globe in hours. It goes viral because it crosses every single border instantly.
I want you to check out this historical timeline of communication mediums.
just to see exactly where you fit into the grand scheme of things. We start way back in prehistory with the simple shout. Then, antiquity brings us writing. The 1400s dropped the printing press, the 1900s introduced cinema and TV, and today, we have the internet and social media. You guys are sitting at the absolute pinnacle of human communication history. And here is the crucial takeaway from all that. Every new medium rewrites the rules of society, but your generation is experiencing the greatest novelty in history. Before right now, only a select, wealthy, highly connected few could ever make films or broadcast on television. The masses only received messages. But now, anyone with a phone in their pocket produces and globally publishes video every single day. That is an insane amount of power that no generation before you has ever held. But having that kind of power demands something in return. You have to truly understand the language you're using.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, Watching with Critical Spirit, Equipping Your Armor.
Because this language is so incredibly powerful, you can kind of think of video as the world's biggest afternoon school. Millions of people are just passively learning incredible things every single day after their actual school or work is over. Seriously, think of what you know simply from having watched it on a screen. You know what the red, dusty surface of Mars looks like. You've seen the bizarre creatures hiding at the bottom of the sea. You know exactly how elite athletes train for the Olympics and how teenagers live on the exact opposite side of the planet. Different genres teach us different things. Documentaries open windows, sci-fi explores the future, social videos connect us to our neighbors.
But, and this is a big but, we need to talk about the danger zone. You absolutely must pay attention here, because not everything you see in this afternoon school is true. Just as people can lie with words, they can easily lie with images. Here are the 4 specific traps, think of them as sharks in the water, of our era. Number 1, deceptive editing. A video chopped up with bad intent can make someone say something they absolutely never meant. Number 2, filters. These seamlessly alter faces and bodies until our expectations of reality become completely warped. Number 3, artificial intelligence. We are now seeing AI manufacture totally fake videos or deepfakes that are basically impossible for the human eye to detect. And number 4, the algorithm. The code deciding what you see doesn't actually care about the truth, it just prioritizes whatever keeps your eyeballs glued to the screen the longest.
So, how do you defend yourself against all that? You've got to equip your armor, and I am handing you that armor right now. Before you blindly believe a video, and definitely before you hit that share button, you must ask yourself 3 vital questions. Who made this? What did they make it for? And what is this video intentionally hiding from me? If you can't answer those 3 things, you need to pause.
Which leads us to the ultimate takeaway for today. To sum up everything we've just covered, video is a stunning visual spectacle, a boundless way to gain knowledge, a dream factory, and a completely universal language that we all now speak natively. But because it can also manipulate and lie to us, watching while thinking is the first lesson of the language of video. Developing that critical thinking is the absolute first step to mastering this entire medium.
And mastering it is exactly what we're going to do next. You've learned how to read the language today. In episode 2, we are going to learn how to write it. We're going to pick up the camera, and spoiler alert, you don't need any fancy expensive gear because you already have immense broadcasting power sitting right there in your pocket. So, when you pull it out today, what story are you going to choose to tell? I'll see you in the next explainer.